Hey y'all, welcome back to our channel. So there's this thing that I think every author kind of thinks about for a second, especially as they become more serious, and that is your website. We want to make sure that you have a place that is just giving your potential readers a quick rundown on what you are writing and kind of what's the newest thing coming up and what you've written in the past. So just some basic information about you as an author. And we're going to talk about some cost-effective ways to do that, because having a website can get pretty costly. And if you're on a budget like we've been on before, you kind of want to cut some costs on this, and it's totally doable.
First thing is what to call your website. What's the domain name going to be? It needs to be your name. Ours is crystalandfelicity.com. Yours is crystaljjohnson.com. Mine is felicityvaughn.com. It's pretty easy. You're probably not going to change your name, but your books are going to change. What is your most popular book right now is not going to be your most popular book, a year from now. So you want to keep it your name. Many authors used to use blogs when first starting off. That's great. It's free. Writing takes a lot of time, as we all know. I don't want to keep up with a blog too. That's not a thing that I'm going to do.
Right.
But if you're willing to post that new content all the time, fine. Do a blog. But we recommend doing a website, like you said, with your business card information. Who are you? What do you do? And where can people find it?
And buying a domain name is not really that expensive. It's about $17 a year, US dollars. Having your domain name is where you need to start. You should purchase that.
It's pretty cool. Yeah, it's cool to have your own website that doesn't say, felicityvaughn.blogspot.com.
Yeah.
It's cool to have your a legit website. The next thing you need to do is find the type of interface you want to build your website on. What company do you want to use? Wix is a really popular one. I've used Wix before when I did photography. Very, very easy. I'm terrible at this website stuff. Crystal runs all of our website stuff. I don't even know how to do it. And Wix was really easy for me even. So that says something. But if you want all of the bells and whistles with Wix, it's going to cost you $22 a month.
Before I ever did any type of website stuff, I used something that was comparable to Wix. It's a good place to start if you have the money to do that. But now I've moved on to using WordPress websites, which to me is so easy to change everything out and move if you need to move everything. So I really like it. There is a .com, which is more of the bloggy one, but you can park a domain name there or buy a domain through them. We use the .org, which means that we pay for hosting. We use GoDaddy. We pay $12 a month. That $12 a month actually covers all three of our websites, because it is parked under one website is our home website, and then the other domains get pushed out from there. So I spend $12 a month for all three of our websites. So it's a pretty sweet deal. But before we did that, we actually were with what's called Free Host, and it's byte.host.com, I believe is the name of it. And we hosted through them. It's when you have low traffic, it's free and it works. The only problem is that the way that it directs, you end up going from, so for instance, you would go from crystalandfelicity.com into crystalandfelicity.bithost, bytehost. Yeah, it was kind of ugly.
It had to
Yes, it took forever for our pages to load because it was redirecting our traffic, which ends up causing problems when it looks at security issues. So you're kind of maybe looking a little shady. It's also hard for it to pull it on Google, but I do recommend it as a starting point. So if you can learn all the back part of the hosting, then I totally think it's worth it if you're willing to put in the effort to learn how to do that. And then the last boring technical thing I want to talk about, and goes back into the security, is your SSL certificate. And that's what makes the website look like it is legit. People don't have to worry. You're not getting that weird screen that says, are you sure you want to go to this? Looks like a shady website. There are ways to get free SSL certificates. We do it for free right now. It is going, I just did that. It's going to be a pain in the butt. Every 90 days, I have to go back in and renew it and put all the information, like dig it into our websites. It sounds a lot more complicated than what it is. I actually learned how to do it, I would say, in probably about an hour on YouTube. I found a YouTube video on it. So it was not that difficult.
In layman's terms, for us who don't understand all of these things, that means you have the little lock up there, right?
Yes,
next
we
to
have
your...
a lock.
Okay,
Anything
that's legit.
Yeah, it's legit.
Totally legit. All right, now that the blah boring stuff is over, let's talk about the fun things, which are the things to put on your website. So as we go through these, Crystal is going to show you guys our website and the examples of what we're doing on ours so that you can see a model. On the homepage, you should showcase the work that you are focusing on at the moment. Whatever you are promoting at that time is the work that people should see first. So when Edge of the Veil first came out, obviously that was what was on our homepage for our website.
It should be a quick glimpse of the things that are most important to us. We have this cool carousel, which hits on all of our main things. It has all of our Wattpad books in the carousel. We have Edge of the Veil by itself in there because it's a Kindle Unlimited book. And then it talks about our YouTube channel. So kind of this cool little feature up here that was an easy plugin. I love it. I think it just looks so legit and
cool.
It looks kind of high tech. And then you'll notice that below that is Spellbound because that's our most current story. And so that's really where we want to drive our traffic is with Spellbound right now. So that's there. And then we just put in the social media. Basically, somebody should get a good glimpse of who you are and what you're all about just from your homepage without needing to click through everything else. Your homepage should captivate them enough that they're like, what other books have they written?
And that brings us to the next thing you should have, which is a page with all the books that you've written with the blurbs and links to read them. So if your books are on Wattpad, you should have a link to the Wattpad story. If your books are on Kindle Unlimited, you should have a link for Kindle Unlimited. Don't put your stuff out there and show people and not tell them where to get it. That kind of defeats the purpose. So make sure that you point them in the right direction. The next thing is your About the Author section. This is really, really important. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about themselves. They don't think people care. People do care. It doesn't have to be like your autobiography or anything. We're not writing a memoir, but you do need to show some things about yourself. The other thing you need, and this is coming from a person who was very, 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 very anonymous when I first started writing. Did not show my face, did not want my real name out there anywhere. This right here that I'm doing, if you had told me that I was going to do this back in, 2018, I would have been like, hell no, I'm not. But you have to put your face out there. You need to put your picture up. I know that's something that a lot of people struggle with, ourselves included. But if you expect to make a living out of writing, you need to show your face. You're beautiful. I promise.
This
just
is
show
part
it.
of your marketing right here. Like,
next thing, links to your social media. Before you even discuss a website, let's say it again. We've said it before, we'll say it again. If you want to go forward in your writing career, you have to use social medias.
Yeah.
You don't have a choice. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok right now are our top 3 social medias. We've watched our writing friends that use social media versus our writing friends that don't. And it's clear to see who has more traffic and who's doing better.
Yeah.
It's the people who are promoting themselves on social media. The next thing you need to have is a way to contact you, not just through social media, but through an email address as well. And it doesn't need to be fatballs69 at hotmail.com. That's a shout out to my favorite comedy, Horrible Bosses 2. So don't have a really unprofessional email. It needs to be your name at probably Gmail is probably the one that you want to use. It's free. It's got all of the Google Docs stuff where people might share documents and such stuff like that with you. You got the Drive. It's the easiest one, I think, to use. The other thing you could use, if you're really super cool, you could have a contact me form where they can just go in, put their name, their email, and their question.
But you still want to have a professional email to go with that, because if you have to respond back, you don't want to be, sending it from Fatballs.
On your Fatballs, yeah.
Yeah, don't send it from Fatballs. Still have a professional.
The last thing is something that we don't do this. Maybe in the future one day we might, but we don't do it right now. But if you want to, you could always do a mailing list. You can have a link to sign up for it. There needs to be some kind of perks with it though. People aren't just going to be wanting you to send more mail to clog up their inbox. There's going to need to be some kind of promotion for this. So like,
Right.
you might get a sneak peek of things to come if you subscribe to the mailing list. You might get cover reveals, things that only subscribers are going to get. But don't do this unless you're actually going to maintain it. And I think that's why we don't do it.
Yeah,
we are trying to maintain so many other things right now.
Yeah, a monthly mailing list is really what it needs to be. And I and you do not have time to sit down and put together a monthly mailing list. If you want to know what's going on, head over to our social media because we're on there all the time.
Yeah.
Or go and check out our conversation page on Wattpad.
That's that. We have shown you our website and we hope that it was helpful to see what we think a successful website looks like in action. Bottom line, do your research, pick a good company to use. Building a website on your own is a process if you are new to it, to be ready to work on it, be ready to perhaps be challenged. And don't give up because it is an important thing to have. But thankfully, there are a lot of YouTube videos that will show you exactly what to do. And Google is king when looking for info, including when people are looking for you.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you do right now, we have a special promo going. Subscribe to our channel and fill out a little quick forms, 2 quick questions, just so we know how to contact you if you were to win your very own signed copy of Edge of the Veil. We're going to give away 2 copies of Edge of the Veil, 3 copies of a digital format for Kindle. The contest is going to run until February 12th, so make sure to subscribe. Those 2 things, subscribe, go fill out the form to let us know that you've subscribed, and you're good to go. You're entered in.
And in the meantime, if you want to read any of our stories for free, please go over to Crystal and Felicity on Wattpad and check out our stories.
And as always, write what you love.